It seems to me that there's a national trend in higher education towards prioritizing teaching technical skills over a more holistic view of education. In your view, what do students gain from the study of humanistic academic fields such as philosophy, languages, and cultures? Perhaps we can start with Dr. Rose, since she's a fellow philosopher.
That's funny. Thank you so much. By way of clarity, really quick, I wish that the center had been created in 2001, but unfortunately, it may be 2021, is what you said. So
sorry about that.
Just a point of note. No, I mean, because I hope we'll talk a little bit about the histories of these centers. So the date's important in relationship to Marquette. But to your question about humanistic educations or perspectives, right, in higher education, and I think that the question of the human is a fundamentally shared question, right? Regardless of whether you're interested in technologies of science, if you're interested in math, right? Whatever your interest might be, even if they might not be considered in the humanities, we do share a common experience of being human, right? And that, of course, is going to be scaffolded by all sorts of other things, right? Like our race and our ethnicity and our genders and our sexualities, right? To just name a few. But there is something really fundamental about that shared experience. And as a result of that, I think it's why it's so important that we ask questions about who is the human, right? And who gets to participate in that project. And that is a shared conversation, regardless of where you sit, not just in the homes of higher education, but as a person, as a living, breathing person, right? On this planet, this is a question that is shared.
Dr. Daly?
Yeah, I mean, I would reiterate what Stephanie said, that of course, no matter what discipline you are working in what college you situate yourself as either a student, staff, or a professor, this question of what is human, right, is something of interest to all of us. I think the university system, especially in the United States, has become neoliberalized to a degree in which students, and particularly undergrads, rather than getting an expansive education, right, spending 4 years expanding their minds, really doing deep inquiry into the human condition, they are increasingly tracked and professionalized in a 4-year period prematurely. 4 years, this is 4 years of your life as an undergrad where you come to learn how to think critically as a human being, to think critically both in the context of this university, the nation, the globe, right? And so you have all the rest of your life when you get out of undergraduate institution to become professionalized. And I think, the humanistic education sets you up for your whatever profession you choose, but it also really gives you this foundation to become a critical thinker in the world and to be able to conduct yourself as a global citizen who has the skills to talk about, problems across any discipline, with nuance. Right. And I think one of the things the humanities gives us is the ability to think with nuance, right? Not to just make polarized statements, but rather to kind of put ourselves in someone else's shoes, understand things like empathy, that then, transcend into whatever field that we go into.
Thank you. I meant to say in my introductions, I meant to say that you all became the co-directors in 2021.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I would have loved
we're not that old,
in the case.
Not that old.